From Studio 8A, coverage you can count on in high definition. This is KOMU 8 News Today.
President Barack Obama will personally appeal today to Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to move forward on peace talks with the Palestinians. We'll take a live report from 4 different locations in mid-Missouri during the next hour, what you can expect for your morning commute.
A plan is in the works to construct a new bridge in Colombia. And the trial of the century in South Africa begins today. Good morning. It's March 3rd, 2014. Thanks for waking up with us. I'm Meredith Albert.
I'm Megan Judy. I'm definitely just a teenage boy.
Do you need like some honey or some hot tea, or
I don't know.
you need something?
This coffee's not cutting it, I guess.
Blame it on the weather. Everyone else blames everything else on the weather.
I sound like a teenage boy.
Well, you don't sound like a teenage boy.
I don't?
No.
What do I sound like?
You just sound like you've been smoking for hundreds of years.
Well, I've never, ever smoked, so.
6:01 is your time this morning. And finally, the weather's going to improve in kind of one way here, in the fact that we don't have any sleet or snow that's falling. All of that continues to fall across southern Missouri. But temperatures are going to be very cold here this morning. All of us are going to be back into the single digits, some above 0, some below 0. It's -1 in Columbia, -8 at Brunswick, -2 at Mexico. That's not even including the wind. We have wind chills that are well below that. And we'll talk about what those are in just a little bit. But the open sky and sunshine returns today, so that'll be nice. We'll kind of pick up where we left off at here on Friday. We'll be at 10 at noon, 17 by 3 o'clock, with wind chills gradually improving. In fact, the rest of the work week looks dry and quiet and a little warmer. So that's great news, and we'll talk more about that in just a few minutes. Ladies, back to you.
Thank you very much.
The recent winter weather could cause some traveling issues for motorists this morning.
It's limiting the number of lanes along Highway 63 available for driving. KOMU 8's Madison Conklin joins us live along US 63. Madison, what are those conditions looking like?
The MoDOT trailer information map says US 63 north towards Audrain County is cleared. However, 63 south going towards Jefferson City is partially cleared. Now, after driving both ways on the highway this morning, the left lanes were still covered in a bit of snow and ice mixture, leaving the right lanes more clear than the left. So that can cause a little bit of a delay during morning commutes, either north and south on Highway 63. Around the uncleared parts, like I said, leave 2 cleared lanes open for driving. MoDOT took to Twitter last night, Sunday night, to advise drivers to use caution if traveling Monday morning. I've seen multiple MoDOT plow trucks on the roadways this morning, so it looks like they're clearing up. Reporting live in Columbia, Madison Conklin, KOMU 8 News.
Oscar Pistorius made headlines for being the first Paralympian to compete with able-bodied athletes. And now he's making headlines again as he faces murder charges.
Pistorius is already in a South African courtroom today on charges of murdering his girlfriend, Reva Steenkamp. Prosecutors will try to prove the double amputee fired 4 rounds from a pistol through a bathroom door in a deliberate attempt to kill Steenkamp. Steenkamp, a model and South African celebrity, was shot 3 times and declared dead at the scene. Pistorius has pleaded not guilty, saying he mistook Steenkamp for an intruder. If Pistorius is convicted of murder with intent to kill, he faces a minimum of 25 years in prison.
Scott Boulevard between Bellevue Drive and Vouder School Road is scheduled to close this morning beginning at 7. This section of Scott Boulevard will remain closed until August 8th. In mid-July, the entire intersection of Vouder School Road and Scott Boulevard will close for 21 days. MoDOT will hold a public meeting tonight to discuss a project to construct a bridge on Route B over I-70 in Columbia. The project is expected to begin in June. The meeting will take place from 4:30 p.m. till 6:30 p.m. at the VFW Hall in Columbia. Displays and project information presented at the meeting will be available on MoDOT's website tomorrow. The Columbia Public Library is ramping up its summer reading program with a contest. Participants can design an original bookmark based on the teen theme Spark a Reaction or the kids theme Fizz Boom Read. Winners' artwork will appear on bookmarks that will be distributed beginning in late spring and lasting throughout the summer. The deadline to enter the contest is March 31st.
A live look over Columbia Regional Airport at 6:05. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. Here's a look at what's new right now. Heavy snowfall today in Philadelphia could make this the second snowiest winter on record ever. The snowstorm caused the cancellation of school and more than 2,000 flights on the East Coast. Multiple governors have already declared snow emergencies for their states. Governors in Delaware, New Jersey, and Philadelphia declared state of emergencies in anticipation of the projected snowfall. An Australian missionary is now in China this morning after he spent nearly a month detained in North Korea. John Short was held by the North Korean government after committing the criminal act of spreading Christian leaflets. Short is the third missionary to be detained by North Korea in recent months. Now you know the newest. Here's the headlines in the day ahead.
All right, Meredith, thank you very much. People lit candles and mourned the deaths of at least 29 people killed in an attack in China this weekend. The attack happened at the city's main train station. People arranged the candles to form 3-1, the date authorities are now calling a terrorist attack. Authorities said a group of terrorists used knives in a premeditated attack Saturday. At least 11 are dead, including a judge, in an apparent suicide bombing in the Pakistani capital. Islamabad police say 2 militants entered a court building, firing weapons and throwing hand grenades. The 2 then detonated the bombs, devastating the surrounding area. The Pakistan Institute of Medical Sciences reports 39 others were wounded in the attack. The Iditarod sled dog race began this weekend in Alaska. 69 teams from around the world are competing in the race. 18 of last year's top 20 teams are back this year to compete. 1,000 miles of Alaskan terrain, including 2 mountain ranges, wilderness, and rivers, stand between the start line and the finish line. Mushers will cross the finish line in Nome, Alaska.
I'm here on Stadium Boulevard, and if you take a look behind me, things are moving just as they're supposed to. Cars are traveling at their normal speed, and there's not a lot of icy patches here on the road, but you will notice that when you try and turn or move across lanes, some of those areas can be a little icy. Now, as for residential roads, I just got off the phone with the city of Columbia, and they say those areas will be a lot more icier. The city's priority is those priority routes. Thankfully, though, there is a light layer of snow on some of those residential roads that'll make traction a lot easier. As for the buses in Columbia, the city transit system will be moving as normal. However, you can expect some delays just in case weather gets a little bad. Reporting live in Columbia, Nicole Cartmel, KOMU 8 News.
Now, your live Doppler 8 First Alert weather with meteorologist Eric Aldrich.
6:10 is your time here on a very cold start to a Monday morning. We have a lot of us that are back into the single digits below zero for wind chills. But snow and sleet, all of that's well off to our south and east here this morning. Roads are going to be in decent shape. There's still quite a few slick spots, though, so you'll probably want to allow an additional 10 to 15, maybe 20 minutes to get from point A to point B. Sidewalks and parking lots remain very, very slick out there this morning, but we will continue to see a little bit of early morning sun. That'll stick around pretty much all day long. Take a look at precipcast here throughout the morning. We're dry, we're quiet, we're sunny. That same weather pattern sticks around all afternoon. 4 o'clock on a Monday, no clouds or anything like that. We will start to get a little extra cloud cover late during the evening and overnight, and that's going to kind of stop temperatures from dropping significantly, but we're going to continue to bring back a little bit more in the way of sunshine here tomorrow. We've already broken a record low temperature for today. 1 was the previous record low. That was set back in 1900. We're at -1 right now. It's -6 over at Macon, -8 at Brunswick, -1 over at Sedalia. Otherwise, the wind, that's going to be the real big thing out there this morning. It feels like -19 in Columbia, -12 at Osage Beach, -17 over at Rolla, and it feels like -13 over at Moberly there this morning. So just going to be prepared for that. We're at -1 with a dew point of -11. We have a lot of very dry air at the surface this morning. Winds north at 13. Air pressure continues to increase a little bit at number at 30.57. Elsewhere around the state, there's a little bit of some of that snow that continues to work its way off across southeast Missouri. Otherwise, a lot of that continues. A lot of that large winter storm continues to race off to the east. We had surface temperatures around here yesterday morning. They were at like 7, 8 degrees. You go up to 10,000 feet yesterday morning, and temperatures were right around 50. So we had 6 to 8 inches of snow falling up about 10,000 feet yesterday morning. But then as it worked its way all the way down to the surface, it evaporated, poof, just like that. And that's why we ended up with less than 1/2 inch of snow. But we did pick up on some sleet. Otherwise, high pressure here at the surface, that's going to continue to make sure that we're sunny and dry today. It's also going to make sure that we're stuck with highs in the middle and upper teens, though. 17 degrees today, lots of sun, breezy, rather cold, winds north at 10 to 15. Overnight, we're partly cloudy. Still rather cold, though, down to 9 for the overnight low temperature. Tomorrow, the sunshine returns, a high of 28. 35 on Wednesday. We get a little extra cloud cover during the afternoon. Otherwise, we're going to rebound nicely for Thursday and Friday with highs in the 40s and 50s. And then we're going to kind of fall back a little bit here for Saturday and Sunday. 40s return by Monday and Tuesday of next week. We'll talk more about the wind chills since that's more of a problem now, and we'll do that coming up in about 5 minutes. Ladies, back to you.
All right, thank you very much. Mid-Missouri didn't get as much snowfall as expected, but some roads are still covered with that ice.
And with more winter weather in effect, conditions are expected to remain the same. KMU8's Tatiana Darie is live on I-70 to tell us how the roads look this morning.
Good morning, Megan. Good morning, Meredith. I-70 looks pretty good this morning. MoDOT says it is mostly clean in the Boone County area, but it is still partly covered in Callaway County. So for those of you who are commuting to work today, make sure to take time to reach your destinations. Also, be really careful on the side roads. As I was driving this morning, the side roads, I could see that the side roads still have some ice and snow, so driving could take longer than usual. There is still a wind chill advisory in effect until 10 a.m. this morning. So you just make sure to wear warm clothes, as frostbite can occur really in like 15 or 30 minutes on exposed skin. Also, to find out the latest information about the road conditions, please check out the MoDOT's traveler information map on our website, KMU.com. Reporting live in Boone County, Tatiana Darie, KMU 8 News.
Ooh, come inside. She's so cold. Coming up today on KOMU 8 News at noon, this epic winter has left rock, salt, and ice melt shortages throughout the country, leaving homeowners wondering what to do. We'll show you a few alternatives. Join us for KOMU 8 News starting at noon. Here's a reminder, if you want to comment on our question, the way we cover the news, go to our website, KOMU.com. Then watch Fridays on KOMU 8 News at 6 for your view of the news.
Coming up, I will give you an inside look on the Jefferson City roads and the parking situation in a little bit.
And a live look over Jefferson City. The time is 6:14. This is KMU 8 News Today, coverage you can count on.
At 875-1020.
6:17 is your time here on a Monday morning, and it's going to be very cold for a lot of us this morning. Thankfully, we're all finished with all that winter weather. We did pick up on a little bit of light snow and some sleet over the weekend. That continues to kind of work away. We have a little bit of light snow that still continues to fall across southern Missouri from West Plains to the rest of southeast Missouri. Otherwise, the next few hours actually will be impacted by very low wind chills. Wind chill advisories remain in place throughout a good part of the state. And this is kind of what wind chills are going to be doing over the next few hours. By 8 o'clock this morning, we're still between -5 and -10. So that's going to be obviously extremely cold. But then as we work our way closer to the lunch hour, the winds die down just a little bit, and the wind chills actually start to improve a little bit here during the second half of our day here on a Monday. Still, it's going to be sunny, but don't let that fool you. Temperatures only warm back into the middle and upper teens, maybe some low 20s for highs, but a very chilly afternoon, that's for sure. Warmer weather arrives by late week. We'll talk more about that coming up in the next half hour.
All right, we're going to get back with her in a little bit. She's in Jefferson City talking about those road conditions. Just in case you're wondering, they're a little icy, so be careful and leave a lot of extra time before you have to head out to work. A famous Missouri sculptor passed away this weekend, and winter weather was and is still causing some problems. KOMU8's Michael Dowden is here with your news from around the state this morning.
Well, thank you, Megan. I know it's a little bit of a break from the weather, but a famous sculptor, Gilbert Jerome Singleton, died at his home in New Mexico this past weekend. According to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, Singleton was born in Connett, Missouri in 1935. His work is in the collections of the Vatican, the Museum of Biblical Art, and the Museum of Modern Art in New York. Now, 3 people are dead after a 3-car accident in Clinton, Missouri this past weekend. The Missouri State Highway Patrol says a car driven by 19-year-old Jennifer Reeder of Springfield crossed the center line, sideswiped one car, and ran head-on into a second one. Reeder and her 20-year-old passenger Aaron Hook were killed in the accident, as well as 49-year-old Paul Stankus, who was driving the car that was hit head-on. According to the St. Louis Post-Dispatch, drivers were stranded along I-70 for several hours after winter weather caused an accident. Freezing rain started falling around 10 p.m. Saturday night. An accident occurred at 11:30 p.m. involving 2 tractor trailers, causing the highway to be closed in both directions. Highway workers walked to check on people who were stranded in their vehicles for up to 5 hours. All lanes reopened at 11 Sunday morning.
Missouri is stuck in winter weather, including those cold temps, but in several areas across the U.S., it's much, much worse. I'll look at what some Americans are waking up to this morning.
Time now for Money Matters. Maribel Aber has your look on what's happening in Wall Street. It's a rough start to the work week for millions of Americans as yet another winter's blast plows through the country.
Ice and wind is causing power outages in the Mississippi Valley, while parts of the Mid-Atlantic could pick up a foot of snow. NBC's Chris Ballone has the preview of areas across the nation. I couldn't do it. There's no way I could do that. Over the weekend, airlines canceled 2,000 flights.
Another 1,500 have already been canceled today.
Coming up, what to expect for your morning commute.
A live look out over mid-Missouri at 6:26 on your Monday. We'll be right back.
The First Alert Weather Cam is brought to you by your Heart of Missouri Chevy dealers.